Look, there is no shortage of cryptocurrencies. And because it's so overwhelming, I thought I'd condense all of those coins into 8 that I think will be emerging coins in the coming bull run in 2025. Some of these you will have heard of. They're a little bit obscure. Some of them you might not have heard of at all. And here's the strategy. I'm by no means saying that these coins are actually going to pump, but the strategy is, if you buy all 8 of these and distribute evenly across all of them, 1 or 2 or maybe 3 of them is going to absolutely explode. The other 7 or 8 of them will die. And this is the risk you take when you go into cryptocurrency. So of course, I'm not saying dump all of your money into these coins. I'm saying if you use a small percentage of your portfolio and spread your bets across these coins, the price potential of these coins considerably outweighs the need for you to put more money into them at this point. Do you get me? The first one is IOTA. IOTA is one of those coins that when you look at it on the all-time scale, we had a massive peak in the last cycle, had the same, like just the rest of the market, the same type of movements where it went up, breached outside of the 0.236, came back into the 0.236 like the rest of the market, and has stayed down since then. I'm not going to go into tons of details about these projects. It would take me so long to go through them all. This is 8 tokens. If I was going to go into detail, that'd be a massive video. I'm not really going to do that. I'm just going to deliver you these and hope that you go out and do your own research. This list of 8 tokens are ones I'm going to be adding to if I don't have them already. So I'm taking my research into my responsibility and my investments according to my research, and I think you should do the same. You can just get all the information you want on CoinMarketCap about IOTA. Looking at the price prediction for IOTA, we use the Fibonacci extension tool like I will do with all of these coins that I'm able to. The 3.2 line is up here at $17.99, meaning from today's price, that's a massive 70x, 68x on your money. This is one that you just hold a really small bag with and just wait on it. It's the same for all these coins. The upside to these tokens upon adoption is absolutely insane. So allocate a small portion and that will grow into a significantly larger portion should these targets get met. And remember, not all of these will hit, but if 1 or 2 or 3 out of this 8 hit, you're in the money. All the losses that you made from investing the small amount in the other coins don't really matter because the gains were so incredible. The next one is CASPER, and I've talked about CASPER a lot. I have invested in CASPER. I'm staking my CASPER, or I've delegated my CASPER on CSPR.live where I can get a yield. I get about a 10% a year yield. Placing a Fibonacci on this one is probably the wildest thing you'll ever see. But if we've seen the peak and we've seen the bottom very recently, the 3.2 line there is at $130. From today's price, I mean, that's almost 500,000% growth to the 3.2. This is one that I've got the most hope held in. Even if we use the Fibonacci on this peak that happened kind of on the first kind of few weeks of CASPER, taking us up to $22. I mean, with the allocation that I've got, very small amount. I mean, I'm talking very, very small amount. Could retire me on its own, right? So this is what we're waiting for these tokens, and CASPER is the second one. The next one is XLM. And this one goes very much hand in hand with XRP, just in terms of price movement. And actually, you might be surprised to know that the only difference between XRP and XLM, apart from the fact that the projects are different, I'm talking about in terms of price movement, is that XLM actually outperforms XRP. XRP outperforms Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so XLM is actually arguably a better investment. My targets for XLM are as follows. We take the peak of the last cycle down to the bottom of the market. The 3.2 comes in at $2.88, and from today's price, that is a very tasty 2,754% growth. Lovely, absolutely lovely. This is one that I'd be leaning on the side of pulling off for you, but of course the percentages are lower on this one. It swings and roundabouts, but that's why you spread your bets across all 8 of these coins, and then hopefully lots of them pop off, and we'll all be retired very easily with very small bags. The next one is HBAR. HBAR, again, massive amount of fans on HBAR. The community on HBAR is wild. It's because it's a whole new system. It's a whole different way of doing even blockchain. It's like it's a completely different thing. It's a hash graph. It's really cool. I would really suggest if you're gonna research all of these lightly, research HBAR and CASPER more. That's what I would do if I were you. I mean, you can see on the right here, like this person on CoinMarketCap is saying the answer to the energy crisis, because it's very energy efficient, HBAR as well, which is one thing that it has going for it. So let's get into the chart and have a look to see what HBAR can offer. If this was in fact the peak and we drop down, H bar's 3.2 line. Remember, I'm not even talking about the top of the fibs, which they very well could reach. I'm talking about my exit point at the 3.2, which is $1.68. And from today's price, that is a lovely 26x on your money. So H bar is one of those. Again, I would lean on the side of being one of the more probable successes out of this list. But you know, any of them could go, and it's worth being in all of them. The next one is ALGO or ALGORAND. ALGORAND is one that had a massive pump. It actually had a new all-time high on this cycle already, which should counter out of all the tokens that I'm actively investing based on my rules. But the use case for ALGORAND and the knowledge that we have seen the craziness that it can actually do. I mean, the growth that we saw for ALGORAND from these low areas right to the top there, I mean, that was 22x. It's already done this cycle. So it makes sense to draw the Fibonacci using this as the peak that we saw in 2021 and the bottom that we're at basically now, drawing out the 3.2 line at $7.43, meaning that from today's price all the way up to there is another tidy 23x. I'm going to break down, like mathematically, I'm going to break down why this is a good strategy to spread across 8, and it might make a bit more sense in terms of like understanding that the loss of 7 coins going to 0, which they probably won't, but they could, and only 3 working, how that significantly outweighs the downside or the losses initially. So Algorand's another one of those. Look, I mean, we're way in the depths of everything right here. These are the times to buy. I don't know how else to say it. So let's get into the ones that are a bit more obscure, the ones that you might not know about. This is the juicy part, right? XDC is the first one. It seems to be the use case, and certainly watching a lot of other YouTubers talking about XDC, the ones who really, really know it. You know, it seems like there is a gap in the market that XDC fills perfectly. So that's why it's going on the list. But let's have a look at the price prediction. And for this one, you know, Fibonacci's are just not going to cut it. You can use market cap, you can use all other types of metrics to figure out the price targets for it. But what I've been hearing from people more in the know is that a $10 XDC could make sense. Like, this isn't an outrageous number. If I relate it back to kind of Bitcoin, for example, the idea of thinking about $100,000 Bitcoin is, I mean, a long way from where we are now, but you can see it. You know, you can see that happening. You can see it happening sooner rather than later, if you know what I mean. That's what the $10 mark seems to be for XDC. And from today's price to then, that's 160x to there. So these are some wild ones. Again, please do your own research. Only allocate small portions of your portfolio. Really don't go heavy into these. You don't need to go heavy, as I'll show you later on. The next one is API 3. Have you heard of this one? Again, this is another smart contracts platform that has an absolutely monstrous growth potential of 17x on your money, just to the 3.2, the top of the fibs coming in at 21x your money. And this is purely using Fibonacci extensions. This is the type of coin, if it gets rolled out and used like you would hope it would, this is the kind of coin that does a super cycle. And when I say super cycle, I mean I put the 0.236 line on the top of the previous peak, bringing the 3.2 up to $123, right? Ready? And that takes the 3.2 up to a 70x. Again, small bags in these tokens, spread your bets. 1, 2, or 3 of them might pop, and you basically only need 1 to pop at this stage, and that will go absolutely crazy. And the final coin that we're going to talk about that I will be adding to my bags is MOONBEAM, or GLMR. MOONBEAM, by all intents and purposes, looks dead, but it is not dead. This is a project built on Polkadot and is actually classed as a Polkadot parachain. Parachains are going to be absolutely massive when real crypto adoption, blockchain adoption comes into play. And what's really unique about this is that the chart looks so terrible. It looks so terrible. MOONBEAM came out this year, so since the beginning of this year, if you look at any token, good or bad, it's just all gone down, right? So you can't judge MOONBEAM by how the chart looks, because it looks exactly like any other coin starting from the 11th of January 2022. But when parachains pop off, MOONBEAM's going to be one of those that pops off as well. And it's very difficult to have price predictions for MOONBEAM, because you could quite easily say, oh, take this one, take it down to the bottom, the 3.2 comes in at $48. That's a massive increase from today's price to then, you know, that's an 83x on your money. Oh my goodness. And that's just at a 3.2 all the way up to the top. You know, it's 100x on your money all the way up to the top there. Funnily enough, that is $63 to the top of the Fibonacci extension. But many YouTubers that I've seen out there, people who are more in the know about me, about parachains, about Moonbeam, are looking at this as a $100 token. $100 from where we are today would take us up into the region of 170x. Again, this is all a reasons why you should just put small bags across these 8 coins and hope that 1 or 2 or 3 pop off. So these are all of our tokens. We've got 8 tokens that we're distributing into. Let's say a small amount of money in this instance, probably appropriately, is probably about $100. So what happens is you put $100 into each one of these. That's not a huge amount of money, and obviously this will scale up and down. If you've only got $10 to put in, or you want to put 1,000 in each, or 10,000 each, I don't know how big of a player you are. I think when we look back at this video and we see all the percentage gains potentials from all of the coins, you know, it ranges from 8x your money all the way up to 100x your money. If we went conservative and I said, okay, you're going to have 3 coins that go up 10x, right? Just 10x, 3 coins that go up 10x. So I'm going to put 10 on this one, 10 on this one, 10 on this one, right? So now coins 1 to 5 all went to 0. They actually went to 0, failed, completely failed. You lost all your money in there. But 3 of the 8 went 10x on a scale of 8x to 100x. Just 3 coins went that small amount up 10x. You've made, from your initial investment of $800, you now have $3,000. You've significantly multiplied money there. We're talking on the most conservative numbers that I could think of, right? I mean, ultimately, if you put $100 in each one, and only one of them goes 10x, the rest die, the rest go to 0, you still made money. You still made money, right? You only need one to go with the most conservative amount. And all of these tokens have a huge potential, huge use case, and huge value attached to them, right? So we're spreading our bets across good tokens, hoping that 1 or 2 of them just absolutely go. It could quite easily go this way as well. It could go, well, you've got this one that went up 25x, this one went up 10x, this one went 5x, this one died, this one went 2x, this one died, this one died, and this one went 6x, right? And what you're left with after an $800 investment is now $4,800, right? And these are conservative numbers. Like on a scale of 8 to 100x that we saw in this video, I still haven't breached any coin above 25x. These are coins to hold and just hope for. Let's say one of them reaches all the way up to 75x, right? And then one goes 10x, one goes 5, and the rest just die, right? The rest just die. Again, $800, now $9,000. You've only really relied on one token doing well, and it's reached there. And who knows, you might luck out and then get like 2 that go 100x and the rest die, right? And then you've made 20 grand from $800. You get the point by now. You don't have to do much to get a really good yield when you spread your bets across these really high potential coins, just because of the considerable upside. Right, well, if you like this breakdown, please let me know by commenting how you feel, what your thoughts, what your feelings are right now. Do you like any of these coins? Do you hold any of these coins? If you want to see more from me, please hit subscribe. Stay emotionless out there in this crazy market. I'll see you in the next one.